Hi everyone, today is Monday and we have the offensive camp. It's blocking and hitting, but we made a joke that not a lot of players would sign up for the camps that involve out of system setting, passing or defense, because everyone wants to hit. So we claimed it as hitting and blocking, but we just told the kids that we're going to be covering all other aspects of the game because it's not healthy to jump for 5 days, and by Wednesday I bet the dynamic will go a little bit more down because their physical abilities will decrease and the soreness will take over their bodies. So we have 60 kids originally, there's 4 of them missing today. We have 16 coaches. We also have Coach Cody, he came from United States. He is potentially recruiting and looking for the players, and also his university is a pipeline for like a Div1 colleges in states. So we're also trying to grow our networking and help a lot of players to get recruited without parents investing a lot of money.
So what we're looking for from this camp and from Natke Volleyball, we're looking for athletes that are technical. Being a 2-year program, we're looking for development, so we're looking for athletes that are coachable. So seeing athletes come in and work with Natke and Natke Volleyball Academy, we're just really excited for what we are seeing and what we're going to be finding here coming through.
I'm so excited and I'm very happy to see everybody because a lot of players, some players we know, some players we didn't see before. First what I see in Canada, in Calgary, it's volleyball improve in general, and kids improve and coaches improve. It's a very good way.
You're just moving your foot, okay? You're not actually taking your directional step. So take your directional step, and then that pushes to lead you into your cross.
Keeping those strong hands, and also we really want our strong finish.
Today's session, personally, I thought today's session was really good because we worked on a lot of basics, and just going on forward through the week, we're going to continue on going to a higher level. I think it's important to start at the basics, and then each day we'll just get higher and higher. Thank you, Nat.
Thank you, Nat.
One of the major points for this day was to set up the expectation standard so everyone will buy into what we teach and how the future development of the camp will be. And again, I get it. For some of them, they were like, oh, it's too easy or it's not as intense. And I could hear some conversations happening between the parents and the players. However, tomorrow and Wednesday are going to be way harder, so I'm curious to see how the dynamic will change. I am happy to see how a lot of players participated in the discussions and they were trying to change, and even what they found, the patterns in their movement were not as efficient as they should be. So it's also like the expectations from the coaches that it's not going to disappear overnight, but even if the coaches can see that the consciousness in the players' minds appeared and then now they're noticing what they're doing and what impacts what, it's the first winning point for us. So tomorrow we'll be piling up the performance and the heavy expectations and the speed of the balls. So hopefully we can bring the intensity up. Again, I get it, it was an easy day today, but it was a very important mental.
Morning. Morning.
Guess who slept in?
Not me.
That's me. Day 2, I'm ready to hit a lot of balls. So the progression of the blocking, hitting, more defense, a little heavier serve receive. Hopefully today the kids will not be saying that it was a very light day. Some interesting, nice agility and coordination drills. I see a lot of smiles. So hopefully we'll set a nice tone for today. Otherwise, yeah, stay tuned for day 2.
Yeah, we're expecting for some high energy, some more competitiveness, some ferocity in terms of people really stepping up their game, using their fundamentals to elevate their game to really succeed in little things today.
Hey. I expect high intensity, focus, intentionality, and some fun too, honestly. Good time for once in a while.
I'm expecting a little struggle at the start. I'm expecting all the athletes to catch on and use the skills we worked on yesterday to the best of their abilities.
I'm expecting lots of improvement, a bunch of bright, young, vibrant faces ready to learn, and ready to not only learn the skills physically, but become better mentally up here, become stronger. This is a mental exercise.
My job is to put you in a tough conditions. You need to practice a little harder than you play, so then it's going to be very hard for someone to surprise you. That type of a swing, do I understand that not a lot of girls on your teams will be hitting like this? I do understand. But the more you can be prepared for that type of pressure, for that type of like uncomfortable positioning, the better you will be. Hard-driven balls exaggerate the problems. So again, if I'm shanking a little balls, there's no angle present when I'm defending. Or maybe I just touched it, but I didn't return the ball completely back. This is your time to see those mistakes before you even enter U17, U18, or even college level, when the girls will be able to punch that ball heavily enough. Use this as an opportunity to grow within the next couple of years. While like I say, their environment is still kind of safer. Okay?
So second day, super exciting to see them put the fundamentals and their techniques that they were learning on day one of really getting honed down, putting it into more in-system, out-of-system, working more with each other in some of the drills today. So seeing their connectivity, seeing them actually hitting today, and seeing their skills go from day one to day two, just being a little bit elevated from what she's already doing with Natke Volleyball in the camp today. So super excited to see what they're going to do on day 3.
Morning everyone, it's day 3, piling up the work that we've done throughout 2 days. So 6 courts, we're doing blocking, hitting, serving, defense, passing, and out of system setting on 6 courts. So today the drills are going to be going a little bit higher in difficulty, where the players will be encouraged to use the knowledge that they learned throughout the first 2 days. And I'm very curious to see how they will be working under pressure, because when we were slowing down and isolating the drills, they had enough time and there was like a very single task movement. So now when you have to, like, for example, serve, enter the court and play the defense, or my court, fake the block and move and transition and play the defensive ball, that's going to be an interesting side, because they will have to control the time, the exact spot, and read the hitter's hands. One of the courts will be doing what I've seen the United States men's national team were doing. Is going to be a shadowing drill for blockers, where the setter will be releasing the ball. 2 players going from zone 2 and zone 4, and the players on the opposite side will have to read and create an organized block. We will progress to actual hitting and blocking. So hopefully the players will penetrate, keeps their hands working, will have no wrong techniques, hopefully by this day, and we as coaches will be there to guide them if they will need any type of adjustments.
Natalia brought me up here. I did not volunteer. She intentionally brought me up here thinking, I appreciate it, but she was intentional about it. She wanted to give you another opportunity. She did this for you. So she gets the other round of applause for that. Yeah, so something I really appreciate about Natke Volleyball and Natalia, especially herself, is her tenacity and her willingness to sacrifice everything to make you better. She has no skin in the game of once you leave here. The only thing that she is thinking and her club is thinking is to get you better. Now, being here, I have seen that tough side, I have seen that tenacity. However, I've never seen an athlete being demoralized, devalued, or demeaned, and knowing that she's creating that environment, that it is a tough environment. It is somewhere you're going to come and you're going to struggle, you're going to be uncomfortable, because that's how you grow. but you're going to grow and you're going to grow safely. She really focuses on the mental health side. It's something that we talk about in the beginning and the end of everything in our coaches briefing and stuff, is just really understanding the philosophy and letting athletes like stop and ask questions, and if they're struggling on something, pull them aside and really try to get into it and understand. Something that is really rare about this camp that other camps I've been at across both countries is the coach to athlete ratio. Something she really makes sure is that there's coaches for every athlete. When I walked in, I was like, holy crap, there's so many coaches here. And then as we kept going and knowing her expectations of how she expects her coaches to interact with the athletes on just about everything, it takes an army, and she brought an army in for this camp, and that's something that you just don't find elsewhere.
We are spending some time with agility and coordination. The fun fact that hopefully you will see, in the morning we made some photo shoots with some ridiculous pictures. We're going to post it in the reels. Hopefully the link will be here. The kids had a lot of fun because it literally was super fun. Sometimes uncomfortably ridiculous. So again, I'm excited to see the final project. Today we have more of blocking, transitioning, and attacking, passing, transitioning, and attacking. Here on my court, we're going to be covering a lot of balls, and we will bring some competition where servers will be playing against passers. This is the last day of the drills and the focus on the skill set, when tomorrow we'll have a morning mental session and some gameplays. See ya!
Pretty good. Day 4, they're a bit tired, but it's good. They're pushing through and making harder drills a lot easier by them being attentive and wanting to get better.
Right now we're working on getting outside when we're transitioning. We're working on defense winning games. That's another big point of this drill. And we're working on spots for attacking if the set is inside. That's basically it.
I want to tell you, this is the most important lesson that I learned in volleyball. There was a point in my life where I hated myself so much because I thought that I wasn't good enough to play high-level volleyball. And I went through many sports therapy sessions, and the most important lesson that I learned from those therapy lessons is that what you tell yourself is your greatest truth, and you will do everything to prove that true. When I sucked, when I was really bad at volleyball, what I was telling myself was, life is unfair. People are taller than me. People have better genetics. People can jump higher. All these things that I couldn't control, I decided to focus on, and that became my greatest truth. And as a result, my skills followed suit. What you should be telling yourself is you putting 100% of your effort will lead to results. You want to learn, you want to be better. And if you are good, you can't tell yourself that you are a bad player. You're only going to prove yourself right. The difference between a good player and a bad player isn't the skills, it isn't the height, it isn't the genetics, it's in your head. Thank you.
Halfway in tears because people are sharing their vulnerable side. So again, just try to take it to consideration.
I know this sounds like a lot of information, and it probably is. You guys are young, you guys are still learning, your brains are still developing. But we wouldn't be telling you guys these things if we didn't go through it ourselves. I know all the student coaches, all the older coaches can speak to this. We wouldn't be telling you guys to do all these things if we didn't have to do it ourselves. This is why we're here, and this is why we want to share it with you guys. And like I said at the start of the camp, I asked how many people wrote something down, and I saw 3 people raise their hand.
Also, all of us are Nat prodigies. Like all of your coaches, I've been here since I was 15 and I'm almost 19. I used to drive Natty to practice when she just moved here and barely knew a lick of English. And me and my mom would drive her. And I'm gonna probably cry, but like Natty's known me since I was like 14, 15, and I'm still coming back. Like that should say something. Yes, sometimes I've gone home probably in tears, but it's worth it. Like, she knows how much she can push me and how much she can do for me, and I wouldn't be the player that I am today if I hadn't come and gotten into this community.
Stop. I'm getting soft Canadian, halfway in tears.
I did that.
One more time for you. If I would not care, we would not be running this. Like, I could turn it into way more profitable thing, get 3 times more than you, and put you 4 people. Because of the name, we still would be able to do this, and we would give you balls, you will have antenna in the middle, you will play half court, and I would be like, you had so much fun, you will go home and tell your parents how much fun you had, but you're not gonna be growing, okay? So one more time, it doesn't come from the bad side. Push yourself, think highly of yourself, and dream big, okay?
What did we think about that conversation that we just had?
That was very motivating. I honestly was like, wow, this is like so motivational. I thought it was a crazy speech like everyone had, honestly. To always keep trying and
don't ever give up.
Never give up.
It's a lot of it is mental, so like you can't underestimate yourself.
Awesome. Okay.
Probably just staying confident on and off the court.
Yep.
The same thing.
We're the same. What do you guys find like is the hardest part about volleyball for you guys? Like, is it the confidence? Is it the technique? Is it the people?
I would say maybe just not getting frustrated sometimes. Like, I feel like sometimes when I train really hard and I don't see other people training as hard, it can be frustrating, but I feel like it's more important to be more encouraging, and then that gets everyone going.
Natke on 2-1-2.
Natke!
And just need to know how many people are, because we're going to be playing. I grew up in a small town in the eastern side of Ukraine. We're going to playoffs, we're in Regina, and my parents get bombed. And so in the morning, I played not knowing if they're alive or not. And so finishing the season was like a complicated story. And so everything we've had got ruined. So there's no home. So I'm a foreigner here by myself, finishing volleyball, not knowing what is gonna happen. My parents ran away with like 2 little bags because they were not allowed to take anything. People were evacuating and they were telling not to take stuff, so they were taking people over clothes, kind of. So I was like, God damn it, I need to find money to pay for something because like, and I'm just like, I have no money, literally. And I worked in university at the rec department, and I was getting like those employee of the month and stuff, employee of the year awards. And so they were like, oh, how we can help you? And I was like, oh, you know, if you will give me a job at least for a year so I can settle down after university and know that I have kind of a backup plan. They told me, oh, we don't have budget. I was like, okay. And then during the summer in 2022, my team would be running summer camps where the students were able to make some money during the summer coaching. So they don't invite me. And I was like, gotcha. One of my profs, he is a president from the Paralympic national team. His name is David Legg. So he's like, Hockey Canada, they are watching, like looking for a manager for the U18 national team women. And I'm like, I know hockey stick and a puck. That's all what I know about hockey. He's like, whatever. So because my education was here, sports and recreation management, I got into the interview, they gave me the job, and I got into Hockey Canada. I worked with them during the summer. We were preparing for the World. It was such a cool experience because first I was an outsider, what they kind of didn't accept much, but then when they were on the ice, I was watching their practices. And again, as a team player, you understand that somebody's moving, somebody has to open up, somebody has to give the pass, and they would score. So I started understanding the movements and the drills. And then we had a meeting, and I told them the goalies are training always separately from the forwards and defenders, for example. So they're like, oh, cool, it looks like liberos. Like they're one-on-one with the ball, and so it was a lot of similarities. So it was like a cool experience, but then the contract was done and they were like, even the coaches who are right now working with the WHL, they were like, we went to ask for you to stay, but looks like the department chose somebody there, like to get this job eventually. So they were like, bye. So I got the job here as a manager of the facility, and that's how I started coaching more in this gym, and I created the website, started doing my social media. So eventually those private practices were, I was sending my parents money so they could like survive, sustain. My mom came a year and a half ago because my dad said that the bombing got worse. And so he's like, if my girls will be safe, I can survive, whatever. So, and people were saying, oh, but one life is better than two. You're like, cool to choose like that, saying that like your dad is not important. So I needed to wait until he turns 60. So when you're 60, you're no longer gonna be taken to war. So he finally turned 60 last July. And so I had a conference in October in Croatia. So we planned the trip and we picked him up, and so the family is here now. And so the moral of all of this conversation is that you never know what is gonna happen with you next. And when I'm telling you like all of these stories, how you have to be resilient, how you have to push, it's not because I'm making shit up. It's like I've been in the boots where like not a lot of people want to have you on your team and you have to earn your spot. And then even being here in Canada, a foreigner, like not a lot of people were interested in me at any point. So now when the Natke organization is doing well, sorry, Mariu is like, oh, do you want to be an assistant coach? And they all over me, inviting me to all of the awards and events. And I'm like, no, thank you. When I was at the lowest, you didn't need me. So like, if I would be homeless right now, I doubt that you would call. So that's why, for me, it's very important that you build those traits of character that can carry you through life. And by putting you in this tough environment here, it's not because I'm bad and I want something bad for you. It's because of like, when you figure out how to respond, how to adapt, how to be flexible, it's gonna give you a beautiful opportunities and traits needed in your future life when you're growing up. Because I get it, the life is not about volleyball. For some of you, do I understand that not everyone will go to Olympics? Guys, I'm not delusional. But if you will stay a strong female, you would stay active, you would stay healthy, you will have higher expectations and striving for something better, that's already like a win-win for me as a coach. So that's where I am coming from. And I want you truly to understand that everything that I do here, it's like I do truly been through tough things in my career, in my life, but I want you to build your internal guts when you're willing to push through.
Day 5, we had the morning session when we talked about mental health and some performance ideas, how we can use the common patterns and behavior and some fears, and we offered solutions for that. So I'm very grateful that the kids shared their deepest fears while also offered the solutions and support system for each other. We did some stations. It's a warm-up.
I keep on telling you well, you don't come home from that town. I keep on telling you well, you don't come home from that town.
Now we're gonna be playing. So it's gonna be games 17-17. We are trying to close the sets, while also each court will have the task. For example, so on this side you have the lines on the court where they are IDP, ideal defensive positions. So after the ball goes on the opposite side of the net, they must stay in their IDP. So we're trying to encourage them to stay disciplined and circle back to their defensive spots. The players are playing the game 17-17, and there is an extra score that will be used if the player will complete a line attack.
They have like extra point if they make a point after like first contact. Second contact, they can like hit him or like tip him. and when they make a second point score, it's like extra point for the task.
Align attack with a score, you will get an extra point, and then the extra points and the results will be put on the board. Another court will have bingo cards. So for example, one teammate will pull a card and it will say, for example, to score with a tip. And the team will have to repeat this task at least 3 times. Meanwhile, playing and finishing the game of 17-17, they will have to, after their finishing point, guess the task of the opponent's team. If they guess it right, they get an extra point. The idea today will be not to only just play volleyball and use what we taught them throughout these past 4 days, but also to make them think. And I want them to be those players when, for example, we are playing the game and I say, serve zone 1, they will be able to keep this in mind, or when the player, Jessica number 17 is in the front line, we close her line, they will keep those little things in mind and they will be focused on completing the tasks or directions that the coaches are sharing with them. So we will see the 3rd and 2nd and 1st place. So hopefully we'll have some fun and the kids will share their experiences. Parents, thank you very much for your investment and your trust in us. Hopefully you will gain some important lessons, not only through volleyball, but through life over this week. The camp was created in a competitive environment. My job was not to create just fun drills and gameplays. I wanted you to spend time focusing on the skills that will be important for this game. Keep working on those elements, especially right now you know the standards and potential execution for either of those drills, okay?
1, 2,
I liked my, it was really good. It was different from what I'm used to, but I like her type of coaching.
It's fun, it helps you grow, and you build connections.
I think it pushes yourself. You know, you get challenged in all of your skills, but I think it's one of the most fun camps I've ever done. So,
How she said, like, being pushed and like discipline, so that you're just not goofing around and you're learning skills. I definitely improved my skills.
good coaching, and you improve a lot, and yeah, really fun.
This camp is amazing, awesome, really fun.
So fun.
The drills are really hard,
Yeah.
but in like a really good way. Like they'll feel really hard at you, and you like improve. And 100 out of 10 recommend this camp.
I learned so much, so fun, new friends.
Okay, day 5, we just finished. It's been emotional. It's always feels weird in a sense that in 5 days, spending 4 or 5 hours in the gym with the kids, you guys bond on a different level. So for example, on day 1, my style of coaching or our approach feels a little bit different or something that is not common. But then as soon as they understand that it doesn't come from any dark side, you're here for them, you're supporting them, you're building the drills or the competitive type of a gameplay to help them grow. And by day 3, 4, you could see how the dynamic changes and how they're clicking in and the mental side of the game shifts. It was nice to see them playing today and using the concepts that we were teaching. Was it perfect? It wasn't, but volleyball is not about perfection. It's about using those little skills that you've learned and trying to implement them throughout the game, and also being mentally engaged while you're playing, showing the effort, the behavior, the supportive side of the game for your teammates. And I actually saw a couple of shifts when we pointed, then some of the players needed a little extra support and the team delivered. So I'm very happy to see what I saw, and some feedback from the parents was quite positive, so I always take it as a good sign of we're doing a good thing. So 2 days of rest, and on Monday we have another camp, so stay tuned. And as always, please follow us, subscribe, write your comments, let's stay in touch, and I want to offer YouTube something a little bit different than just coaching skills and videos. So hopefully you will see a little bit bigger side of what I do, what we do here, and how we can help your game to get higher.